You're listening to Season 6 of the Three Angry Giant Fans and the Jet Fan podcast, sponsored by Carolina Beer Temple. Join us weekly as we complain about our team's dismal performances, the shenanigans in the NFL, and other assorted nonsense. We also give our pet peeves and answer listener questions. Check us out on YouTube. Go to our website, angryfootballfans.com, and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. We have a lot of fun doing this. We appreciate all the support. Go Jets.
The greatest city in the world. I'm going to be saying it with my son. It's the greatest city in the world. Yeah, that's a Hamilton reference if y'all don't know.
What do you want fans to know about you?
I want fans to know that I'm going to do my best. You know, obviously I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to execute, have a surgical execution, and just play ball, man. Like, this is something I've been doing since I've been 4 years old. Now I just get to do it in the greatest city in the world. I'm going to be saying it with my son. It's the greatest city in the world. Yeah, that's a Hamilton reference if y'all don't know.
So that is famous Jameis Winston belting out Hamilton. It's the greatest city in the world in his press conference. And guys, Jameis Winston brings character to this team. He's a backup quarterback. We'll get into why he probably should have been the backup all along. Another move by Dable. But, the Giants are the most entertaining 2-9 team in the league, I have to think, to watch. But they're 2-9. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the Jets loss, which seems like years ago on a Thursday night. We are the Three Angry Giant Fans and a Jet Fan podcast. Your host Scott, Giant Mike, Cardone, and Jets fan Novak. And guys, just this is Groundhog Day. You got to lead in the fourth quarter. You lose. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Doesn't matter who the coach is. Same defensive coordinator though, and that's the thread. We're losing leads in the fourth quarter. You realize, guys, 5 leads in the fourth quarter we've lost. Imagine if you turn that around, you're 7-4. I'm not saying you're going to be 7-4, but there's a lot to be said. The Bears are a team that keeps winning close games, one-score games, and their record's probably inflated. The Giants is probably deflated.
Wash, rinse, repeat, whatever. Yeah, I mean, you just said it, Scott. I was saying right before we came on, Jameis Winston running around. Yeah, he has, he's got a little, fervor, if you will. But I felt like I was watching a preseason game with Jameis Winston running around. That to me I know it's mid-November. I know it's week 11, whatever, but it felt like a preseason game. You got guys like Hodgkins running around. There's players on the field that it should be August instead of mid-November. Everyone else is getting ready for a playoff push. And we're getting ready for nothing. It's just the same bullshit every week. I don't know how much. We'll break down yet another fourth quarter loss and just another indifferent add to our tankathon odds, I guess, of picking first in the draft. Whatever.
I mean, isn't Winston the epitome of what you want as a backup quarterback?
Exactly.
Like, gets guys energized, keeps it in the game. Yeah, he makes a mistake here or there, but he wasn't horrible. But again, I think this is an indictment again of Joe fucking Shane.
Yep.
Why did you have Russell Wilson? For what purpose? I mean, roster management and talent evaluation. You had Russell. You signed Winston first, I believe. Am I right in that? And then you signed Russell Wilson?
Wait.
I was actually trying to think about that timeline
I think
today.
You signed
I'm not
Winston
sure who
first.
signed first.
I'm pretty sure. Why did you need Wilson? You could have gone in with Winston, DeVito, and Dart, and you would have been fine. What a disaster and what a joke that this guy was not your week 1 starter, or at least given a chance. He's much better than Russell Wilson.
I talked about that a little bit with Cardone while we were watching the game. It's like, Brian Dable goes into this season with Wilson, Winston, and Dart on his team, and he chooses by far the worst of those 3 to go into the season with. That's, there was a consensus, I think, already made that we're not going to play Dart, but that's just another thing I don't like about this coaching staff is, like, we didn't see the practices, we weren't privy to everything, but we saw the damn preseason. Dart was the best quarterback on this roster in the preseason, playing against starters, playing against backups, whoever. It was pretty clear to most people that Dart gave the team the best chance to win, but I think everyone was just sort of on the page that, the coaches know, right? That's what I always say. The coaches know. and he's not quite ready. Well, bullshit. As I said last week, he came in week 4 and looked ready as hell. Do we really think sitting behind Russell Wilson for weeks 1 through 3 got him ready to start week 4? No. And it's a hard thing to say, I know, and I think I know what Scott's going to say. It's like, how could we know that though, Mike? And we can't. But it's when you see him come out like that, like he did in week 4, and just immediately look like he's been playing the position for a long time. Like I said, I always say the coaches know, but did they not know this? They didn't know that he was the most game-ready quarterback on the roster, and maybe he wasn't, but I don't think it was Wilson either.
So the one thing that I noticed with Winston is you put Winston in just like Wilson has come in the first 3 games and also in relief of Dart, and he looks like he just wants to throw the ball away. He doesn't want to throw the ball to anyone.
Yeah.
Winston stood in the pocket. He had poise. He found receivers. I'll talk about an indictment, and I was going to save this for the recap here, but to Novak's point, the indictment on Joe Shane here is that a guy they signed off the street that used to be on the team a few years ago, Hodgins, comes in and he's their best receiver.
Yeah.
You have a first-round pick in Deonte Banks getting torched again. You have a third-round pick in Hyatt not finishing routes over and over again. And you have Hodgins come in, and he's making third-down catches and moving the chains.
Yeah.
Yep.
I called on the last drive. Cardone will tell you. I said, here, Winston hasn't turned the ball over all day. He's going to turn the ball over here. But by God, it wasn't his fault. That was a right throw to a guy that should have at least been able to contend for the ball. It wouldn't have been intercepted.
And Novak made the call that Winston was going to throw the pick.
Yeah.
Oh. That's why. We're a joke in so many ways, but the fact that you said Isaiah Hodgins comes in off the fucking street and is our leading receiver, what does that tell you about guys like Hyatt? Even it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Everything from game planning to the roster, to evaluating talent on this roster, to it's just all of it, guys. It's really, and Jalen Hyatt, throw him in the bucket with Slayton and Jamie Gillian and all the guys. And I'm tired of talking about these guys, but what does it take to just, we talked about Daboll obviously last week, being shit canned, and I think if they really wanted to make a statement, they needed to really get rid of some players too. Just cut a bunch of players. They should be cutting a couple guys right now from last week to this week, and make a statement, man, and just dump some guys.
We went to the street to get one wide receiver, and he's now the best wide receiver on our team. So how does that hurt at other positions? Let's try the same strategy at other positions.
Well, actually, you can look at that guy that they signed off the Cardinals practice squad. I can't even think of his name. He's got the hyphenated name. He's making plays all over the place on defense. He's doing a lot better than Banks is, So before we get into everything, let's give a shout out. This one's close to us. It's a suburb of Columbia, South Carolina. So hello, Blythewood, South Carolina. Population 4,900, which I thought it was bigger. It was originally called Doko, an Indian term for watering place. So I don't know if that meant bar or like side of a river where you filled up water. When Sherman
had bars, did they?
Sure. Well, you're smoking peyote, maybe at a bar with it too. Right. So Sherman came through, and when he burnt the railroad down outside of Doko, they renamed it Blythewood after the local school there, the Blythewood Female Institute.
Why would you change the name? Doko is such a cool name. Why would you want to be Blythewood? Blythe is like the most boring female name or something, and then come on, Doku is cool. What are you doing?
It is.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean that's like Antelopeville. That is a cool name.
Yeah.
I'm reading here on Wikipedia that even better, the name of the town was actually Doko Depot. Now that's fantastic.
Absolutely, it is.
Well, there's still a bunch of Doko stuff in the town. You got the Doko Station Pub and Eatery. You got the Doko Smoke Barbecue. The Doko Manor. It's still shit. It's still Doko Park Soccer Fields.
Like the
whole
visitor
town
bureau
is Doko.
The Visitors Bureau has got to be pissed. I would go if it were named Doko Depot. I'm not going to go to Blythewood.
Blythewood, no.
Blythewood actually has a high school there, Blythewood High, and the only population is 4,900. I would have thought it was more. Couldn't believe
People
that.
left town when they changed the name of it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not living in Blythewood. I'm from Doko Depot.
Absolutely.
So, getting into the Giants-Packers recap, we did scratch the surface there. Another blown fourth quarter lead, albeit a 20-19 lead at the time, but we knew that wasn't going to hold. And we mentioned this. How did Russell Wilson ever play this year? The other thing, too, Abdul Carter benched at the start of this game. I think it was for the first series, but he fell asleep during a team walkthrough prior to the game. And guys, it's not so much the disciplinary here with Carter as much as it's just the continued lack of professionalism on this defense. I mean, Banks on that run by Wilson for a touchdown just again gave up on the play. Now the touchdown catches that Watson had, they were both contested catches. I don't blame the Giants on that, but there's just not there's not effort on the defensive side of the ball. Dexter Lawrence played really well through three quarters. Didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. Bowen's got to go as well. Cardone was talking about cutting players. How about just you fired Dable? Bowen's responsible. 5 blown leads in the fourth quarter.
I'll tell you. I mean, we've heard a handful of things, and we've seen a game coached by Kafka. He's a better coach than Brian Dable is. I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't know how closely you watched. The Giants were not dropping 8 in third and long situations. They were not dropping 8. They were rushing at least 4. Sometimes they were blitzing. There were changes made to the defense. Dable couldn't make that happen. Kafka made it happen in a week. Yeah. And I assume it's Kafka because if Bowen was going to change, why hasn't he changed before now? And of course, I'm sure you guys all heard the story that one of the first things Kafka did was like a 2.5-hour meeting with Bowen right after he got the job. Our head office, well, you got to think they fucked up by losing Little Jordan, but it's immediately made right by bringing Isaiah Hodgkins in, who's better than Little Jordan Humphries. So apparently, that ends up being a plus. I won't speak to Carter falling asleep and missing a meeting. According to him, that is not what happened. He was getting treatment or he was doing something, and he made a mistake and he owns it. He said, listen, I own it. I should have been there. I wasn't there. But to the people saying I was sleeping, that's not true. I don't know. And I like that he got punished for it, because then I also heard that Carter being late to meetings has been a thing. And Dable did nothing about it. And Kafka's in there for 10 minutes, and it's so transparent and cheesy to bench somebody for one series. I mean, that's hardly discipline, but it's better than anything Dable was doing.
Well, here's the thing too, guys. Like,
that's Urban Meyer discipline.
Yeah. Right. But I'm not so sure of the impact that Abdul Carter has on the field, because I got to tell you, I didn't know he wasn't on the fucking field for the first series, or what it was, a 2 series that he was benched or whatever it was. I didn't realize he wasn't even out there. So I wasn't saying to right, Mike. I wasn't like, wait a minute, where the hell's number 51? Why is one of our better defenders not out on the field? I didn't even realize he wasn't on the field until I don't even know at what point in the game. But you know what's funny about early on, right, Mike? We were saying, hey man, the Giants are actually, it looks like they're playing a little bit aggressive on defense. They were sending a few extra guys. I love how Green Bay was like completely ready for it though. Like we don't catch anyone by surprise. Nothing. We haven't done anything defensively all season, and yet somehow Green Bay's getting swing passes out into the flat. They're screen passing. They're getting the balls coming out in 1.2 seconds. Everything that we wouldn't catch them by surprise. It wasn't like Love was taking a 7-step drop and being, holy shit, there's white, there's Giants coming at me here.
They're blitzing.
We didn't see this on film. You know why? Because it wasn't on film. It hasn't been on film. So How did you prepare for this? You knew what the Giants were going to do. You knew what Kafka was going to do defensively coming in. It's hilarious.
My one criticism of Kafka, and this goes back to similar things that Dable did too, is that series in the third quarter where we went for it twice on fourth down. We get the fourth downs, we convert them, and then we have a 4th down and 3 from around the 15-yard line, and we decide to go for it and we miss. And at that point, you're playing with a bonus there. You have extended the drive enough to make points. Get the 3. That makes that fourth quarter a completely different game. There's a lot of people who think Kafka's great for rolling the dice, and I'll get into that when we look around the league. But guys, you've converted 4th down twice. You have to get points out of that drive. Then you're down there. You're in field goal territory.
Yeah, and you know me, guys know me. I'm a math guy. Every time you get one of those, the odds that you're going to get the next one is lower. Every time you get one, and then I'm 4th and 1, fuck it. I'm on board with the rest of the league. 4th and 1, go for it. I don't care where you are in the field, just go for it. Fine. 4th and 3 with a backup quarterback, a backup running back, and please just kick the field goal. You're in a tight game. I mean, oh my God. It was so mind-numbingly. I just feel like a drooling idiot expecting anything different. But
and I guarantee you that the last drive we had would have been for a game-tying field goal or a go-ahead touchdown because, again, LaFleur chased the points and went for 2.
Yeah.
So otherwise it would have been
a 3-point game. And, of course, got it, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of course he got it.
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
I don't know if we've stopped a 2-point conversion this year.
Cardone and I were talking about that yesterday.
You had the tight end, backing into the end zone, wide open catch.
We had that going.
Yep.
By the way, if the Giants run that play, we would have been called for offensive pass interference.
It was offensive pass interference.
Yeah.
No, they said on the broadcast, if you do it within, the 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, it's not. So it was a great call.
That's a new. That's a whole. I've never heard that rule before. It's the second time this year it's come up twice. You just added that nuance to the rule, apparently. That was the one. Remember Novak with Mahomes was running up to the line of scrimmage, going, "We were within 1 yard."
Right. Yeah. New rules in mid-season coming out. I love
NASCAR. You can't drive down there now.
So I was about to say that game was like it's a loss. Like there's nothing to be totally angry about. You played okay. You moved the ball. Yeah. You got people involved. You had a backup quarterback. You had a guy off the street that did well. The one thing that I noticed about that, obviously, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but Banks is just cut that guy. Every time there's a big play or a bad play or a broken coverage, Banks is involved at some level or some. He's around the ball on bad plays all the time, I feel like.
Yeah.
So just cut Banks. He's the worst. And then Carter, I'm sorry, I think it's a bigger deal than anyone's making it to be. This is your number 1 draft choice, the number 3 pick in the draft, who wanted number 56, who was going to say, I'm going to be a disruptor of the game, and I'm going to be the next great edge. Well, he's not done anything. How many sacks does he have this year?
Half
None?
a sack.
Half a sack?
0.5. He had 2 called back on penalties.
And don't blame coaching. I'm sorry. Get to the quarterback. If you're this guy, that was a number 3 pick.
I want to say, look, the Giants are handicapped when it goes to getting after the quarterback because our back end is so bad. That's true. Everyone's open immediately.
That's true.
Well, but Burns has found a way to get 10 or 11.
Burns leads the league in sacks. He got 2 more.
Yeah.
Now, albeit they were cheap sacks this game, but he got 2 sacks.
I'm on the firing train. If you want to fire, who the fuck is our defensive backs coach? Whoever that, just fire his ass. Because this secondary, when do you ever we're picking on Banks and rightfully so, but you can throw in Holland, you can throw in any of these schmucks back there. It's amazing. I watch some other games. I do see passes get defended. Balls do get knocked down. Guys come up and make plays. The Giants, they do none of that on the back end. Nobody's making a play. I can't remember the last time a safety came over and just broke up a pass as the ball is on, pick one of the sidelines, outside the numbers, and our safety coming over, flying in, making a play. It never ever happens. Never. It's incredible. Our best defense we just have to hope that the fucking ball gets overthrown by the quarterback.
Yeah, or it gets
like
dropped.
it did. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it did against the Eagles when Hurts missed, Devontae Smith. Otherwise, we probably would have lost that game if if he makes a better throw there.
Yeah.
But that's
Green
our
Bay
best
had a lot
defense.
of
Is just
drops
hoping the
early
quarterback.
Guys,
Green Bay was.
that first touchdown by Watson, how do you not break that up? How do you not knock the ball loose, have it hit the turf, anything like that? I mean, you can't let a guy come across your body with his hands and still come and down with the ball. I mean, that to me shows, I won't say a lack of effort, but there's a football IQ there that the Giants just don't have. They're in a position to make a play, and they can't make a play.
Well, that was the play. I mean, Cardone and I watched that, and if you freeze frame it right before Love throws the ball, you're like, man, I hope he's throwing that to Watson because that's going to be picked off.
Yeah.
And, just the guy just caught flat-footed. Just caught flat-footed. And, our defenders remind me a lot of our back-end defenders, especially Banks, but whoever was guarding Watson on that play too. They remind me a whole ton of the wavy-armed guys outside the car sales places. They're always doing this. They're just always, their arms are flapping. They're, just kind of weakly flapping. They're not, they're ineffective. They're not.
It's like CYO basketball, where the coach would just be like, "Cost, get your arms up in the zone." No matter what. I don't know what this always did in the zone, but you had to do that in the zone.
Flail your arms around mindlessly.
It's like on the miniature golf course where you go through the little opening, the hole there, and there's like maybe a couple strings that are in the way. Like, that's not going to deter me. I'm firing right the fuck through that. I'm sending my ball right through those little strings. It's not going to it's not going to slow my ball down. That's
These flailing balloon arms.
You guys got anything else for this game? I don't know what else to really talk about. I mean, look, I'll tell you this. Tracy had a heck of a game. The running attack was there. Singletary had two rushing touchdowns. I thought Winston could have had 3 picks in this game. The Packers dropped a couple. Winston puts the ball in harm, but he also tries to make plays. We touched upon it earlier. Guys, Hyatt, that last play wasn't the only route he stopped running on. I watched one. It was the one that there were 2 plays, but the one that Winston threw deep, and it looked like he threw into double coverage, which he did. Hyatt stopped running on that bomb, and had Hyatt kept running, he would have been even with that ball where the defender was. Now he's not we know Hyatt, he's not coming down with that ball, but this guy continually stops running routes before he needs to, and that was the criticism that Cowboys coach said that in that viral clip where he's like, you don't run routes, you don't know how to run routes.
Yeah, no, I mean there's no doubt in my mind. Now that ball by Jameis looks like it's going to be a very tough catch for Hyatt to make if he continues his route. It's more likely a contested incomplete pass.
But that was a first down play, right?
It doesn't get intercepted.
I think it was
we just
first
got
down. Yeah.
It doesn't get intercepted if Hyatt finishes that route, and that's
Definitely
I'll tell you guys a funny thing. I don't even know if Cardone knows this or not. So Cardone was next to me on the left. There was a guy next to me on the right. Super nice guy, by the way. If you're listening, I gave him the address. Will, great guy. So he's talking to me in the beginning of the game, and he asked like how Hyatt's doing. And I'm like, he's somehow started today, but they haven't even looked his way. This and that. This guy knows Jalen Hyatt.
No way.
Yeah, he knows him. He's like, I knew him since he's been like this tall. I'm real good friends with his dad or something. So I couldn't even like get that message to Cardone, and Cardone's over there on the other side of me going, this fucking guy, get him off the field.
I was already in game form. Just barking. But
well, you probably couldn't hear the audio because if you were at Mulligan's, but it was Drew Brees doing his first game with Amir Amin or whatever his name is. Yeah. And there were so many fuck ups in this broadcast. Like a couple of times, the one time Hyatt caught the ball, they called him Hodgins.
Christ. No, I'll tell you, the biggest fuck up was Drew Brees wearing a goddamn scarf around his neck.
It was like, it's not Christmas. What are you doing?
I mean,
yeah.
My wife said,
bad.
What's that mark on his cheek? I was like, it was a lot worse when he was
Oh my,
younger.
it used to be so much worse.
That caterpillar he has going on there. Yeah.
He used to be a splotch. Now it's a
Yeah,
line.
his scarf total was like 1.5 feet long, and he had it tied 3 times.
Yeah.
It looked like it was choking him.
It was funny. I finally looked at the box score because, like, why I don't even look at box scores anymore because a box score because who's scared? Listen, I can't even speak. Who cares about the box score anymore with the Giant games? But the Giants had more first downs. They outgained the Packers. The Packers ran only 51 plays the entire game. You look at the numbers like the Giants. They probably should have won this game. Could have won this game. And I'll tell you what. Jordan Love, his numbers looked okay. He stinks. Jordan Love stinks.
Thanks.
Okay, and if you want to talk about that team and the Green Bay Packers, they stink. Okay, because beating the New York Giants, it means nothing. They're not. The Packers are not good. They're not
Very
that good.
overrated. They're not.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, Mike called it right. Jordan Love, my God, is not that good.
And you know what that is, Novak? For me, it's like it's a dig at every time. Whenever I single out a player like Jordan Love, it's the media that I'm targeting. It's not Love.
Yeah.
I have nothing against Jordan Love.
No,
I say this a lot about a lot of guys. I am targeting the media because, again, the media has elevated and anointed this guy as like the next Packer legend quarterback, and he's not. He's not. He's not going to be.
Sterling Sharp came out this week and said, if the Packers want to do anything, they've got to address the Jordan Love situation. He said flat out, they're not winning anything with Jordan Love as their quarterback.
Yeah.
And if a former player is seeing that, that's exactly what Mike said. He said he's going after this cat, in his words, next. And Love got bailed out playing a really bad Giants secondary. He threw some balls up for grabs that Giants didn't come down with, and his receivers did.
Now Jordan Love he's the antithesis, I'm probably using that word wrong, of the new NFL quarterback that the media thinks is great. And that's these guys who never take any chances. So they do not throw interceptions. They have high completion percentage because they're never throwing the ball more than 4 yards down the field. And the media gets all over those stats and tells you how good that person is. He's not taking enough chances to be great. He's not. He's managing the game for you. And he's so afraid to turn the ball over that he's not taking a chance. Now, our guy we just started here is the exact opposite of all of those things. He was going to throw it downfield. I expected him to throw it downfield more this week, but that's probably on our receivers. But these guys who come in and do nothing and get anointed for it, it's starting to piss me off. If at the end of the year, if you have 22 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, you did not do enough for your team as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep. You were barely there.
Those stats are ones that the media gushes about. You're right, Mike. Oh, he only had 3 interceptions. Look at this.
No, you're not trying. That's not good enough. You're not helping your team enough with those numbers.
I just got to say real quick, how funny is it to watch that Dobbs with that stupid Guardian and the T-shirt pulled over and running around? It's really hard to watch. I mean, I laugh every time I see that guy running around with a big giant balloon head running around. It's so stupid.
You know what's funny? 3 times in that game, he left the field because he got face planted into the turf, and I think all the black things came into his eyes, and he had to go out to the side and had to wash his eyes.
Freaking head is like 100 pounds. How could you not? God. Please don't let this be a thing with everyone's running around with these dumbass Guardians. God,
there's people.
Stupid.
There's Giant fans who want Dart to wear it.
Oh God, I hope not, because this just looks so dumb. He's got a big head to begin with. I can't imagine what it's going to be.
He's got a quarterback running around with that thing on.
Too much swag to put that thing on his head.
I kind of agree with you. Just learn how to fall or take a sliding lesson from Tua. Enough.
I always wonder, like when you have a concussion, what ends up happening? Because if you watch Dart on the sideline, like he's joking with Winston, they're doing these dances and stuff, and I'm like, so does a concussion like what kind of symptoms do you have that you can't perform, but otherwise you're physically good to go? You just have to clear the protocol.
Such an eye rolling.
I'm certain I've never had one. Playing. I don't know. I don't know what a concussion feels like. No idea.
I mean, I probably horrible to say it because he looks stupid, but it's just hard to watch. I'm sorry, he looks silly running around out there.
It looks like the Great Gazoo.
looks like a piece of broccoli running around.
so
It'll be in our lifetime, Novak, that every player is wearing that.
It's coming.
Everyone is wearing it.
Oh, you're gonna have like sumo wrestling like uniforms where people bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
Like those big inflatables are gonna be running down. Like he gets propelled 10 more yards. So it seems like it was last year, Novak, but the Jets Patriots game, and since then a ton's happened. Fields has been benched. You got a defensive back shot, critically injured in New York City.
I don't mean to laugh, but good God.
You've had a ton of stuff going on. You had wide receiver drops all over the place during that game. It's funny because they kept trying to prop Justin Fields up by the fact that his receivers were dropping passes, even though some of them were thrown a little bit behind, a little bit above. Every bad pass was the receiver's fault, not Fields' fault.
Well, my thing was, this guy, A.D. Mitchell, the new guy that they got from the Sauce Gardner trade, at least he was getting separation. I mean, he was wide open. And Fields doesn't throw unless someone is absolutely wide open. So I was thinking, like, everyone's all complaining. I'm like, the guy was open at least. Like, give him that.
Let's start there.
Let's start there. And if maybe he can learn to catch, but getting separation is something we don't do. So I was okay with it. But yeah, Fields is benched. And a part of me, I know you guys probably feel the same way. I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed watching it because it was funny.
Depressed.
I mean, Thursday night, I was in Kansas City watching this game with a bunch of Kansas City Chiefs fans. Shout out to Clint, Matt, Ty, Bridget, all the people that are watching as a work event. And I was getting mocked the whole time. And I was having fun with it. They were laughing at how bad Justin Fields was. And it was like fun. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Now I don't have that anymore, right, Cardone?
I was, you know what's coming, and when I saw the announcement, I'm like, God damn it! I'm like, I love watching Fields like fail. I'm watching every play of that game Thursday night for that reason alone, just to see how bad Justin Fields can perform. It's that fun. It really is that fun. And we had on the thread, I forget, I don't know if it was one of us put that the over-under for passing yards for Fields that night was 121 and a half yards.
That was me. I put that on there.
This is an NFL quarterback, and his over-under is 121. I can see that for a running back rushing yards. Like, well, this is an NFL quarterback, and you think, and immediately I was go under. And sure enough, he ended up the game with 116, so he did go under, and 40 of those yards, I think, were garbage time. This guy was floundering around 75, 80 passing yards for the game. I was praying that he wouldn't hit 100 yards again. I have another game where he wouldn't throw for 100 yards, and he barely made it. He had 116.
He had the touchdown to Mechie because the defender fell down, and he still underthrew him. He had to come back to the ball to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, his progressions are 1, 2, run, 1, 2, run every single time. And people say he looks at his second receiver. He doesn't look at his second receiver for shit. He moves his head just to make it seem like he does.
Yeah.
No. He doesn't even know where he is.
He doesn't know. He couldn't throw someone open if you paid him triple his salary. He's the worst quarterback in the history of the league, and we all called it. We did. And
it sounded like you sounded for a minute like you were going to go into Frank Costanza. Cougar, you couldn't steam a hot shirt with a hot date. I lost my train of thought.
I did. I
remember the Festivus dinner.
You couldn't smooth a
you couldn't smooth a hot shirt with a hot date. Lost my train of thought.
It was either Mike or Cardone in that thread too that posted that. The last time a quarterback averaged, like, what was it, 125 yards a season was 2022, and it was Justin Fields with the Bears.
Fields.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That wasn't me, so I forget. I'm not sure who said that one.
I ran across that one. They were like, because the Jets averaged like 132 yards passing per game or something, and it said the last time a team has been that low was the 2022 Bears. Also quarterbacked by Justin Fields.
And I looked it up prior to that. It was like another 25 years before that.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
It was like Sid Luckman who did it last.
So
Red Grange.
So
And back then it was considered really good.
Yeah,
But hey-
you're firing out of the single wing.
But so take Fields out of the equation. Actually, the Jets didn't play terribly.
they
I
did.
I mean,
think so.
they actually were within a score in I think the early in the fourth quarter or maybe the end of the third. But look, I didn't think they were going to win. I never did. But they didn't play horribly. I mean, they contained the Patriots fairly well. That Henderson guy, was it Henderson?
Yeah.
Trevion
Henderson. Yeah.
He's got something, and just Drake May is really good. But the only thing was, I felt like on the third and longs, their secondary is just as bad as the Giants. I mean, they were just guys wide open in the middle of the field all day long. So that was really frustrating. But they moved the ball a little bit with Breece Hall. They found a way to stay involved in the game. It wasn't an actual blowout. So yeah, moral victory. I'm glad that I wasn't embarrassed to the point where they got their asses kicked again on national television. So I guess you take it for what it is, and maybe Glenn showed a little something. I don't know. It's just two and what are we together combined? 4-17.
4-17.
Good
Yeah.
God.
I mean, come on, guys. 4-17.
There's no end to it.
And that is it. Just
And think about this. We're going to spend another Thanksgiving watching football without either of our teams in the equation of even on the outside looking in, or what do they call it, in the hunt?
In the hunt.
In
we
the
didn't
hunt.
make it to Columbus Day. I mean, come on.
No.
What are you talking about? Oh, God, what a joke. I got to sit through 7 more of these friggin' things.
I
Like,
know. That's what I'm bummed about. I can't. I look ahead at the schedule. I'm like, these games never
Yeah.
stop.
I
Thank
will
God
tell
we
you
haven't
this.
had our bye yet. At least we have one less game. We have
true.
6 more of these to watch. Yeah.
The one thing about the Giants game I enjoyed is that it was a stress-free game. I thought they were going to lose. They lost, and as I'm watching it, I had a little bit of fun watching Jameis Winston. I'm going to be honest with you. I liked watching Tracy running. I thought to myself, Jameis Winston back there had so much more poise than Russell Wilson. And Jameis Winston has such a good attitude that he's not there. Jameis Winston's a guy. He's the ultimate backup quarterback. That's why I don't understand what we were
Absolutely.
talking about. He's just out there saying, "Hey guys, I'm having fun out here. I'm living the dream." Where Russell Wilson is pissing off teammates and going, "Let's ride." I mean, it's just
Well, Wilson is running around like he's constipated. He has that constipated look on his face.
Straight
You know
up
what I mean?
running.
Winston is running around like he just he has no problem. You know what I mean? He's already let loose in the bathroom like 5 times that morning. You know what I mean? He's running around empty, just like carefree, careless, little pep in his step. Wilson's running around like he's all uptight and all. Yeah,
He's a
Winston
bore.
is running around like it's a Grey Goose loss for Winston the way he plays. It's like he's just got a Grey Goose on the sidelines and doesn't care. It's a loss of a Grey Goose, but a losing Grey Goose, but one nonetheless.
And you feel like when Dart comes back, he's going to be happy to go back to be the backup.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knows his role. He's
Yeah.
not trying to be something he's not. He's happy to have a job with the Giants. He loves playing in New York. He's the perfect backup for you guys.
Yep.
They showed in the pregame, Winston was doing like the chant as they're coming out of the tunnel. And I look at the guy that's right next to him, and it's Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson's showing no emotion
No,
whatsoever.
he's just
Oh.
staring straight
No.
ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like what this season has become for me is just sort of this. It feels like I hope it's a transition season because it's like you see good things, you see these little good things despite the injuries, but they lose. It's like they took the Packers to the end, they took the Bears to the end, but they lose. It's always like but they lose. I feel like the Giants really exposed 3 teams this year. They lost all 3 games, but they kind of let people know those teams aren't that good. And that's the Broncos, the Bears, and the Packers.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if the Giants played, let's just say New England's schedule, a 5 or 6 win team right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've become like Cardone too. I'm looking at that kind of stuff. So, I'm thinking the Giants are going to finish. They might not finish last in the division. They might finish 3rd. But I'm looking at the rest of the NFC and who's fourth and who's third and who's fourth and who's third. Like, are they going to play the Falcons or are they going to play the Saints next year? Are they going to play the Cardinals next year? Or are they going to play?
Who's the AFC last place team we would play? Because right now the Chiefs are in last place, aren't they? We'll end up with the Chiefs.
No, the Raiders are.
No,
in
I think
place.
we play. I think it's I think it's the North. I think we would get the Browns. I think.
Ooh, that'd be good.
I'm pretty sure because we play the AFC South next year, which is great. So that means that we're going to play those teams when they're not playing themselves. I guess like a couple weeks. So we're guaranteed at least 4 weeks where one of those teams isn't playing another AFC South team because we got them. And then I think we have the AFC North is that home game, which is the Browns right now. Yeah.
Guys, it's probably an away game because the last one was a home game. But if they play in Jacksonville, we got to go down there. That's a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, Duval.
And you take over Duval too.
No, you know what, Scott? They already because you know how they have the rotating schedule. That one is in MetDeath, Jacksonville. Yeah, the road games are Indy, which will be a Monday nighter against Daniel Jones. That's a loss. And then I think Houston is the other one. I think we have Tennessee at home.
On it right now, that Indy game is week 1.
Good week 1. I had it at week 3.
I would take a week 1 Indy game, even if they're pretty good. At least it's not, the team coming off a Super Bowl loss or whoever we play every other year.
Well, you don't know with Indy this year.
Yeah, it could be. You're right.
Actually, Indy might be playing on a Thursday night the first week. You don't know.
Yeah. With the NFL, look, we're already barking about next year's schedule. You know what it should be? How about the fucking Titans at home? Give me the Tennessee Titans at home to start the season where we have a chance to be 1-0. Just a chance. Maybe
Was it the Titans in 2022?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where Dable went for 2 and got the win week 1?
We still had a dodge. Don't forget. Remember, we had to dodge a 47-yarder coming back the other way. Remember?
we
still, our defense tried to blow that one.
Randy Bullock.
Yeah.
Randy Bullock, who, by the way, became a Giants kicker later in a season.
So the funny thing was when the Giants were driving down at the end of this one, I went to Cardone. I said, we go for 2 if we score, right? And he's like, absolutely. And then we both looked at each other like, we're not scoring. What are we talking about?
Knock it off.
Scoring. Knock it off.
Now Kapka has probably no reason to tell the truth here or lie, but he said he would have gone for 2 had they scored.
Of course. 2 and 8. Go for 2. If you don't put us through overtime, man, just.
So a lot of stuff to go around the league here. I'm going to start with the Sunday night game because this was a fascinating game for me in a lot of ways. Dan Campbell went for 4th downs 5 different times and failed. And yet, where's the heat on Dan Campbell? There was actually a headline today that said, Eagles thwart Lions gambles. That's what it said. And, there was a really bad call at the end of the game where there was a pass interference call on the Lions that was just complete horse shit that basically ended the game because the Lions didn't have any more timeouts. They couldn't stop the clock, gave the Eagles a 1st down. And then Sirianni, with this fucking grin, he comes on today and he says, he said, we are a team that we don't wait to lose, we play to win. And I keep saying, Jesus Christ.
What does that mean?
I have no idea what that means, but everyone's talking about how they love Sirianni's attitude, this, that, and the other thing. That game shows to me that coaches that go for it, they don't have any percussions when they don't make it. And they're costing their team games. No one's saying, besides us, that Dan Campbell cost his team possibly a Super Bowl berth last year. And this year he might cost his team a higher seed in the playoffs or even the playoffs the way they're going.
Yeah. You go to the well too many times, Mike. Where I think your audio's out. You go to the well too many times with that, it's going to come back to bite you, and it finally has. Really getting tired of hearing about the Dan Campbell whole going for it thing. Enough. I totally agree. It's just they talked about it the whole game too.
Yep.
And he was 0 for 5 in a big game. They needed that game.
They never once said, "Hey, Campbell, like the cushiest job in the NFL right now, Lions punter. You don't do shit."
No, yeah, that's true.
You take the field maybe once every other game.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's just an automatic go for it every single situation with this guy. I mean, it's run its course, right? Because I think, he was I don't want to say give him credit for maybe like the guy, or maybe I don't know the numbers exactly, but in terms of the modern day like coaches and teams going for it on fourth down, Campbell's kind of set the tone of like going for it more than any other coach. And now, but still, I think the four of us would still be, we would still disagree many times and talk about it. Like, you can't go for it every single time. He's doing that. And Scott, to your point, I say the same thing. Like, why is this guy not coming under more heat and fire for this? Why not? Because why does he have a pass? Why does he have an inherent just pass from the media and the league?
Yep. Because that's what they want.
Yeah, because the NFL loves it. They love it because it makes the game more exciting, which is bullshit.
I mean, the biggest bummer to me this week was that the Miami Dolphins won a game, and I don't care about the Dolphins, but with a minute 44 left to decide not to take the lead with a chip shot field goal is the craziest freaking thing I've ever seen on a football field. And I wanted them to lose for the reason Scott's talking about. I wanted to see what heat McDaniel was going to be under for passing up that field goal. And if we just don't get to see it because Washington.
Well, they went to overtime,
Yeah. But Washington, like when I left here, I didn't watch the finish that. I saw the Dolphins go for it and miss. And I left here and I was like crossing my fingers that when I got to the bar that I was going to find that Washington won. They were right on the edge of field goal range. So I don't know how they blew it. I don't know if they missed a field goal or just got knocked back out of field goal range. I'm not sure, but
I think they missed a field goal. Matt Gay missed one.
But it's insane. It's insane. And not enough people are criticizing these coaches. I mean, how last year or 2 years ago when Campbell really cost his team a shot to go to the Super Bowl, he got a little bit of heat for that. I don't believe in today's day and age, only 2 years later, that he would get any heat for doing the same thing.
Well, and the Eagles in this same game went forth from their own 30 and failed on fourth down, which almost gave the Lions a chance to come back and win. And then, these coaches, I get it if you're on the other side of the 50. And it's, I don't even care if it's a 4th and 2 and 4th and 3 and you're going for it. I understand the decision. Whether I agree with it or not, I understand it. When you're on your 30, why are you ever going for it? What benefit is it getting you? Because you still might make that first down and still have to punt. I just don't know. And these coaches are not coming under any heat whatsoever. And of course the Eagles have a horseshoe up their ass with both what they do and what the officials allow them to do. So, it's like
it's infuriating because it's so damn easy for Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell to be cocky about it because they have all the fucking players.
Exactly.
Like Sirianni can say anything he wants. Oh, we're a team. Okay, I'll give you the Giants roster, Sirianni. Let's see what the hell you do with that. And you're playing not to lose horse shit. Good luck with that.
I was thinking about this during the game because there was they lined up for the tush push a number of times, and I thought to myself, the tush push is a perfect play on 4th and 1 because if they're not going to call the illegal motion, you tell your players illegal motion it, snap it. We're going to get the first down. If they call it, well, we'll just punt it.
Yeah,
it'll be 4th and 6. We can punt it.
Yeah.
It's really a free play for the coach if the officials are going to allow you to do it.
And now, because there's so much attention to it now, it's almost like the officials they're so gun shy to call illegal motion on the tush push now with Philly because it's almost because there's so much attention given to it now that they're not even going to make the call. They still won't make the call.
I don't know if you guys saw the tush push where the Eagles were actually called for a penalty. The center saw that there was a hand in the neutral zone, so he reached his hand out and started tapping the defensive player's hand. And they actually called illegal motion on the Eagles. And Sirianni and the Eagles bench went nuts, and they went to the ref in the booth. And this is where I really get pissed off at having the ref in the booth because he didn't know the rule. He said, well, no, that's a neutral zone infraction. The defensive player's in the neutral zone. The rule is a defensive player can be in the neutral zone until the ball's snapped, then it's a false start, or then it's offsides. If you jump into the neutral zone and you cause an offensive player to move because of your jumping in the neutral zone, it's an offsides and encroachment. If you're just in the neutral zone and the offensive guy decides to move, it's on the offense. And that's exactly what happened. So why did the official say, well, that's on the defense. His hand's in the neutral zone. His hand could be in the neutral zone until you snap the fucking ball.
That referee in the booth, best idea in the NFL in a while, worst execution.
Yep.
I love the idea of having that guy up there to explain rules. But if they're just going to, back up with the official on the field, says, I don't need that. I don't need it.
Dean Blandino, as much as I hated Dean Blandino in the past, he'll actually come out and go, here's what I would call. I don't know if they're going to overturn this, but here's what I would call.
Yeah, he's one of the few who goes out on a limb before the actual call and says what it should be. The other guys hem and haw and say, this is a close one, could go either way, and then they back the call.
Yeah.
Worthless.
Can I do two things from around the league real quick?
Sure.
I'm going to call out one thing that we all got wrong and one thing that we all got right.
All right.
And I'll start with the right. Yeah. We all said J.J. McCarthy is going to be dog shit, and he is. Did you watch that game, how bad he is?
Terrible.
Bad. He's missing guys by 12 yards. And then he does that weird thing where they get the punter run down, and he runs off the field like a maniac. Have you seen this? He sucks. And so glad the Giants or the Jets didn't draft this clown, because he is, take your eye black and go away. So we were right about that. And where we were wrong, you got to give it up for these Carolina Panthers, who just fight every single week. And I know they've lost a couple games they shouldn't have. And I hate Sir Purr in this organization. I don't hate them. They're fine. But you got to give them credit. These guys fight every single week, and they are in every game.
Yep. 100%.
Can I give you another place where you're right, though?
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh.
That shouldn't even count. It's too easy. That one was too easy.
Too simple.
Yeah.
Every NFL GM, every NFL owner was right. We were all right. Just the media.
Yep. Shedeur Sanders came into a game with a lead, and he went, what? Was it three for 14?
It was something like that.
With an interception?
16, something like that, Scott. Yeah. I almost want to find out for sure and look it up. I want the exact numbers of this chop.
So while you're looking that up, a couple other things happened. The Dick got hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph came in and actually looked pretty damn good.
Mason Rudolph looked pretty good.
He did look good.
The Steelers kept rolling after that.
I'm sure, but he probably went home. His wife took care of his injury. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fake wife from Canada.
Yeah.
The Chiefs-Broncos game was an interesting one because they did everything in their power, and whether it's the league, the refs, I don't know who, to get the Chiefs to win that game. They took away a pick six from the Broncos on a phantom call. They called a couple other suspicious timed calls. But the Broncos guys, this team to me is doing it with smoke and mirrors, but they beat the
best
Chiefs.
team in the league.
They're doing it. Yeah,
they beat the Chiefs.
They're doing it. And we had them, and they are who we thought they were.
And the Chiefs now they're in the hunt.
We let them off the hook.
Yeah, but have you seen their remaining schedule?
Yeah.
It's
a
bunch of cupcakes.
It's still going to be the return of the Chiefs and the Ravens. I firmly believe both those teams are making the playoffs. I did have to bring this up, and it was going to be a pet peeve, but it's not. And I watched a lot of games after the Giant game in the 4:00. I was flipping around, and what I'm noticing, and we've talked about this a lot, I don't think there's a conspiracy in the NFL. But guys, there's such suspiciously timed flags that fly in this league. You'll see a run, the Arizona Cardinals, they'd run off tackle, get 20 yards, and all of a sudden, the guy would be celebrating at the end of the run, and you see a flag dropped. And you'd look, and in real time, there was no flag that was dropped. They'd call a hold, bring it back, First and 20. You know, they're down at the 5-yard line. Now they're back at the 40. And this is happening throughout the league. Anytime a team that is, let's say, the lesser team gets a good play, there's more scrutiny put on them. And I'll point out one play from the Giants game, which is inconsequential, but it did end up having an impact here. It was on the extra point that Koo made, where they called a chop block on the Giants. You actually have to be looking for something to call in that situation to throw a flag, because it didn't look like a chop block to me. It looked like a regular play, but yet they threw a flag on this and made them re-kick the extra point, which Koo missed. And I just kept thinking to myself, these are the kind of calls that go under the radar. I don't want them to say they're the ones we talk about keeping games close and things like that, but these calls are made that they're not made all the time. They're made after the fact, after you see the result.
Yeah, there's a lot of results-based flags. You can't deny that. There just seems to be, if the NFL wants to, I was thinking about how the NFL can stop this. So if the NFL is really above the board and they know their officials are above the board, you know how like newspapers, I don't know if they still have them, but they would have a person called the ombudsman. You remember that? And he just
usually with
basically
travel
was like,
stuff.
yeah, he would like trash his own newspaper for things, and that was to keep them honest. The NFL needs this for officiating. They need someone who can come in and say, okay, this is their job, their full-time job. I would love to do it. NFL, if you're listening, I will do this.
Oh, Scott has got to take this job. I mean, 100%.
Their full-time job is to
Scott's
look at
job.
flags,
Yeah,
when they were thrown,
absolutely.
how they what was the over-under of the game, who was the favorite, who was the, just prove it to us if you're so confident that there's no shenanigans going on. I would love that job. Scott would be awesome at it.
There was a play when Brian Burns lit up the quarterback, and the ref did the old thing where he puts his hand where the flag is and wants to throw it, and he decides not to. But why does he put his hand on the flag to begin with? Like, what's he thinking? Those kind of things, I always wonder about what's going on there. Like, I don't know.
Cardone and I have another report from around the league. We taught about 10 people at the bar the Sala game.
Yes.
And we can fully tell you that Sala is still in full effect, man. These guys were like, I can't do it. I can't play anymore. This is crazy.
I was going to bring it up, Mike. I wasn't sure when to slip it in, but yes, we had extended Sala going. We had these guys were like, what's going on? So Mike and I started playing by ourselves, and they're like, what's going on? Next thing you know, we had 6 guys that we just total strangers doing Salah with shot glasses and everything else, and
so they're telling us, they're like, guys, Salah.
think about what game that was.
Was he on LTV a lot?
Yes.
Yes.
It was
Again,
insanity.
he's an assistant.
Doesn't matter.
Think about that game too. What was that game?
It was a blowout.
Yeah, it was the 49ers Cardinals, wasn't it?
God.
Yeah.
We were joking around every time the Niner defense did something like, we're going to get Salah, we're going to get him, wait a minute. Like, the special teams had a play, and we're like, what? Let's get Salah anyway, fuck it, we don't care. Like, and sure enough, there he is, Salah! And then Mike reminded me of the extended Salah. I almost forgot what extended Salah was, where the camera just stayed fixated on his shiny bald skull for at least 8 seconds, 8.2 seconds. Extended Salah!
So one of the guys who was there, this is great.
Oh my God,
he's the replay guy. I forget what college is it? Was it
Clemson?
Clemson.
Clemson, I'll be there on Saturday. Yeah.
He's the replay guy for Clemson.
Yeah, that's right.
So Cardone is doing his imitation of the production booth, where he's going, okay, camera 2, give me Salah. Give me Salah. Stay on Salah. Stay there. Camera 3. And this guy, the guy's like, it's exactly like that. That's how they do it. That is exactly a production.
Really? We actually have real footage from a guy that knows how that happens?
Well, Novak, I did study communication arts at Ramapo College of New Jersey. My college education back at Ramapo, I took TV sports production, and we that's what we did. We would film the football games, Rampo had a horrible football team, and then we would go in, edit, splice. Back in the day, where you actually spliced the tape and like literally taped it together, and then so we did a highlight show and did like a talk show, and yeah, we had technical director like, okay, take take the head coach, camera 2, move in for a close up, camera 3, take 3, okay, 2, back off, take. Yeah, we were doing that with this guy at the bar. It was hilarious. So
it was great.
That's why we couldn't get the hell out of there. I was trying, like I was supposed. We just couldn't get out a month. We were there all day. Couldn't get out.
Solid.
We did.
Yeah, because you guys gave me the solid call at like 6 o'clock. I was like, holy shit, I think they're still at the bar.
Yeah. We just had them going on solid. It was so much fun because, like Cardone said, we were like, none of us cared about the game, but late in the game, the Cardinals are going for it on 4th down. We're like, please don't get it. Come on, Niners, because we wanted to get a stop because we knew we'd get a solid. Then we'd get the stop. Everyone would go, yes, here it comes. 3, 2, solid.
There it is.
This game is going to be a thing. It's going to go nationwide.
These guys couldn't believe it. Like they just, and we obviously nailed that a couple seasons ago. I'm like, this is it. This is unbelievable.
I don't know how to follow the Sala, but the one last thing I did want to point out around the league, and this could have been a preview or can be a preview of the NFC title game, that Seattle Rams game. It was that was one. Darnold threw 4 interceptions, looked completely lost, and at the end of the game, they still had a chance to win if Jason Myers could kick a 62-yard field goal, which one of the few kickers that actually shanks one. But very interesting game to watch. Somehow the Rams looked like they were dominating, but they kept the Seahawks in the game.
It's just a reminder to Giants fans that some teams do miss 60-yarders to win football games. That does occasionally happen across the NFL.
Been known to happen.
Miss those.
So I'll turn it over to Mike now for our previews and predictions. We got the Giants, Lions, Jets, Ravens.
Yeah. So this is a rare week, right, where the Giants and the Jets are not. One of them is not home. 2 road games for us, right?
Yep.
I don't see that happen very often, or maybe I'm not just paying attention. But so we all went 4-0, so there's not much drama. Everyone picked Green Bay, everyone picked New England, and even though we had 4 different knockout picks, we all won. Cardone had New England, Cost had Houston, Novak had Baltimore, and I had Green Bay. So we all advanced there. So we all went 4-0. So the nothing changed order-wise in the picks. Cardone is ever increasingly more impressive, 35-8 on the
that
year.
Is unbelievable.
Scott Koss is not that far behind, 33-10.
Yep.
Nice.
Novak again with the extra 2 wins for the underdog pick. He is 32-13, and I am bringing up the rear at a still respectable 30-13.
Yeah.
So good competition we're having this year. Even though Novak did try to throw one week, but we got him back on track. He went crazy one week. We had to bring him back.
Thank you for allowing that.
All right, so we got Giants at Detroit, Jets at Baltimore. As Scotty said, Cardone, take us away.
Yeah, these are easy ones. Two just demolishing losses here for each one of our teams. I'll just start with the Giants. 41-13. We were joking around about Detroit, like, oh man, after a tough loss against what could be playoff positioning, we just covered the Lions. Gee, I hope they have someone easy next week to get back on that back on the right track. And who comes into Ford Field? Fucking the Giants come walking in next week. So Detroit lays 41 on them, 41-13. Jets are at Baltimore. Baltimore's now won 4 in a row. They're back to who they are. The Jets have no chance. 37-14. Baltimore takes that one. And I think I can take. I went back. I know I had the one miss with my lock. I had Baltimore as one of. Can I take Baltimore again since we reset? How does this work with the lock?
Yeah, you missed. You missed 2 weeks ago, right?
I missed with the No, I think it was. I missed with the Rams and the Niners on a Thursday night, but I haven't taken. I did take Baltimore once earlier in the year. Before that,
If you've had a miss before that, then you can still use them.
All right. I was going to just take
Yeah,
Baltimore
I'll
and
make
double
sure.
down on them.
I'll text
Yeah.
you if you can't. I have.
I'll
it
double
posted
check,
here.
Mike, but because I had mine written down too. For some reason I can't find that list as before we came on. I want to make sure and get that right, but I'm pretty sure
So
I have
we're
not
under
taken
the honor
Baltimore
system.
since. Yeah. So I'm doing the same thing. I had to, so I'm going to double down Baltimore as my lock and them demolishing the Jets.
Scott
All right.
Cost.
So Giants Lions, Lions did not look great against the Eagles. And Dan Campbell's going to go for a bunch of 4th and 6s from like the 45-yard line of the Giants. And of course, he's going to pick them up with ease. I see the Giants still scoring points. The Giants have put 20 plus points on the board in a lot of consecutive weeks this year. I see this game being 31-28. It's going to be close. Giants lose. I don't know if they'll have a lead and give it up, but they're going to lose. And in the Jets game, similar here. Look, the Ravens struggled. If Shedeur Sanders doesn't come into that game, I don't know if the Ravens win that game. And we got Tyrod Taylor. We didn't really talk too much about this. Fields is benched. Tyrod Taylor's starting. I think the Jets are going to keep this close. They might pull it out. I don't think they will, but it's going to be a tight game, and it's going to be a 17-16 game, Ravens. And then for my lock, give me Seattle against the Titans. I don't think I've taken the Seahawks. If I have, give me the Patriots, but I think I had.
You're looking good there.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start with the Giants. I think the NFL is going, well, shit. That narrative about the Lions going on 4th and not getting it, we got to get them back. So who do they play next week? Oh, the Giants. Great. They're gonna
Perfect.
go 5. They're gonna go 5-0 on 4th down, so to make it even over last week. I think this is a beatdown game. I don't think Dart is playing, is he?
Dart might play. He
Don't know yet, right?
He could clear
Yeah.
concussion protocol.
I think if Dart plays, it's close, but I don't think he's going to. And if I were the Giants, I wouldn't wait till next week. I think they have an easier game next week. Just let Winston play. But I think the Lions win this game going away 31-20. For the Jets, I actually agree with Scott. I think Tyrod Taylor is going to keep this game close. The Jets do fight a little bit more than they have in years past, and the Ravens aren't as good. They almost lost to the Browns, you're right. And so I don't think that defense is all that great. I'm glad Tyrod is playing, not because Fields sucks, just because we got to learn what our other receivers are. How do you know if you've got a receiver if you don't throw the ball at all? So at least now we're going to see if this new guy, from the Colts and Arian Smith and, the guy Mechie caught that touchdown. We're going to find out if they're worth something because Tyrod will throw. But I think this game will be close. And I like the Ravens here, though, 24-21 over the Jets. And then my lock of the week, I can't believe that I'm picking this team, and I can't believe they're going to win 10 straight, but I'm going to take the Patriots over the Bengals, who I think are going to be without Jamar Chase.
Yeah, they are.
We're spitting. So
Yep.
who the
What
hell
was
is
your
gonna score
Giants score there, Novak? I didn't.
31-20.
Have they said that Chase is going to be suspended yet, or no? It's just speculation.
There's speculation, but I think he will be.
I saw him spit. I saw a loogie.
Oh, there was definitely spit. Spitgate.
Definitely a loogie.
I saw fluid.
Yep.
Yeah, this is for Detroit, man. I've said this a lot of weeks, and most of the games have ended up being close, but I really don't see this one as any chance to be close with this Giants defense. I mean, you're really in between a rock and a hard place here. Goff is pretty good against the blitz, so if we do blitz, they're going to have just these frisbee catching dogs running all over the field. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's covering him? We're not covering anybody. This is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly fast. We're not going to have a lead in the fourth quarter to blow here. That might be the one good thing. The Giants lose this 40-24. I wrote Dart 24 because I assume Dart's playing. If it's Winston, it could be like 40-17. But I'll leave 24 in there. Jets, Baltimore. I agree with everything everyone said, but I don't think it'll be that close, and maybe it will be one where Baltimore just adds a late touchdown to make it look, or if the Jets add a late touchdown to make it look a little bit closer. I think Baltimore controls this game start to finish, and it's score like 21-10. something like that. My lock of the week, I'm going to do the same thing I did last week. I'm going to follow the Giants and double down on the Detroit pick. Mine reset 2 weeks ago, so I have not taken Detroit yet.
All right, Mikey, I'm going to let you keep the mic for your pet peeve.
You let me just roll right into pet peeve.
Keep rolling into pet peeve.
I used my pet peeve earlier, but I didn't get fully into it, so I'll just stick with this theme of the terrible quarterback evaluation methods that now exist in the NFL. And we are not evaluating quarterbacks correctly. We're evaluating them by the wrong stats. And I mentioned it earlier, and that's exactly what I meant is completion percentage can be manipulated. You can have a bad quarterback have a good completion percentage. Unfortunately, unless they're as bad as Justin Fields, which you cannot get him a good completion percentage for some reason. But Bill Parcells said years ago when some reporter asking him about Sims and Sims' number of interceptions, and Parcells blew the question off and said, if you don't have interceptions, you're not trying, right? You're not putting the ball in harm's way enough. You're not trying. And that's the way these, and I don't know what it is. And I want to say it's because they're protecting their quarterbacks from criticism. They don't want criticism of their quarterbacks. So they're calling these games to make sure that their quarterbacks have decent numbers. And like I said earlier, if you've got a quarterback who's in the low 20s in touchdowns and under 5 interceptions, he is not doing enough to help your team win. I feel that's a direct quote from earlier. I should have stayed away from that earlier, knowing it was my pet peeve. But it's never going to stop. And it's now that we're playing these quarterbacks right out of college earlier, we're going to see more and more of it. Jordan Love is the perfect example. Caleb Williams, when he came out, beginning of his rookie year last year, they had him throwing the ball around a little bit because they thought he was pretty good. And they learned pretty quickly, that's not going very well. So they've rolled him back into this now game manager dump off role. And his numbers have gotten a little bit better, and people are starting to get excited about him, but he is not helping the Bears win these games. Bo Nix is he came alive against the Giants, of course, who doesn't? But Bo Nix isn't, and he's getting better. He might be kind of moving up a little bit out of that group. But these guys, you cannot, you're not going to see the numbers like Favre had anymore. Favre would have like 45 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, and he's going to the Hall of Fame for that. Nowadays, that is just too many interceptions no matter what. No, it doesn't matter. That's what they think. I happen to disagree with that. Now, I have noticed under Kafka, and maybe it was under Dable, that Dart is becoming a little bit of dump it down or run. And it's working for him because he's a good runner. But as we've seen already, Novak is concerned about it. I am too. If he's going to be successful, he's going to have to throw the ball down the field. We can't have him running as much as he does. I don't, in the past, I've said like about Cam Newton, when the Panthers first got him and he was a little bit of a runner and he got dinged up a little bit, and they came out and said, well, year 2, we're going to turn him into a pocket passer. Well, you're taking away why he's valuable to your team. Trying to make Cam Newton a pocket passer, it's not Cam Newton anymore. I don't think that's Dart. I think Dart can stand back and, pardon the pun, I think Dart can stand back and throw darts. Because I've seen it, and the Giants are dropping them, a lot of them. But yeah, it'll be interesting to watch and just something to keep our eyes on, and the listeners. Like, don't be fooled by the media telling you a quarterback is good. Watch a game.
100%.
Watch a game.
Bo Nix reminds me of a couple of different guys, and one of them is he had a pretty successful career because of the roster around him. He reminds me of like a Jeff Garcia.
Oh, I was going to say the same. Yes.
He's
very good comp. Yes.
He's not going to win you games necessarily, but he's not going to lose you games. But he's not like. They're trying to build Bo Nix up to be the guy that's driving the Broncos. He's not. It's the defense right now.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Mike.
And I keep looking at a guy like Bo Nix, and I want to tear him down. I don't know why, because if you guys remember, he was a guy I wanted for the Giants when he was getting drafted that year that he was in there. But for some reason now, and it's because the media has him so pumped up, and I just want them to pump the brakes. Just slow down. Just let him develop. Let him be what he's going to be. But no, they can't do that. There's a rush to label everybody as great or trash as soon as possible, and it takes time.
I'll go next, Mike, because that sort of funnels into my second pet peeve. My first one is my wife just had a hip replacement surgery last weekend, and she's doing really well. But I'm in the waiting room, waiting for her to come out of the procedure. And there's someone in the waiting room, and I've talked a little bit about this before with people FaceTiming in public. Well, there's a person talking on speakerphone in public in the lobby. And she's having this full conversation with her niece or whatever, and you could hear her going to talk about groceries and whatever. And the person from behind the desk, the receptionist, actually goes over and tells the woman she has to leave and move out to the non-public area. And the woman's like, "It's my right to be on the phone." And the receptionist is like, "Well, it's sort of everyone else's right here not to listen to your conversation. Please just go outside and have your conversation. You can come back and sit down when you're done." And the woman threw up this big like to do about it. And I thought to myself, why do we have to listen to people on their phones talking on speaker? Why can't you put the phone to your ear? Why does it have to be on speaker? And why is this a thing where you're put off when someone actually calls you on it? So it's another one of those public things that just bothers the shit out of me. Everyone has their own bubble, and they want to be in the bubble. But the problem is there's people outside your bubble who have to listen to your shit. I don't give a fuck about what you want to talk about. Seriously.
My favorite is the guy at the airport, as you're maybe like in the boarding area.
The security line.
Yeah, or that, or just like it's like, whoa, you have a job, man. Like some guy conducting business.
Yeah.
At a volume of 20 volume. Like, wow, this guy has a job, man. He's like
really
really executive. Yeah.
No,
He's
you're
like,
right.
"Don't give me that shit, Johnson. I need that on my desk by
That's right.
Wednesday."
Johnson from sales, I need better numbers from you. Let's go.
So that's just like one of those things. I have a lot of pet peeves about what people do in public. Like just understand what's around you.
Just pay attention. There's a whole society going on.
People are the worst.
They're the worst.
The second pet peeve dovetails into what Mike was talking about. So this week there was a lot of talk about Drake May being elite, and they were using the term elite. And I don't know if it was Stephen A, if it was Ryan Clark, it was someone that said, whoa. Drake May's been in the league how long? We're calling him elite. You're only calling him elite because he's white, is basically what they said. Actually, they came out and said that. And I thought to myself, we've done that with other quarterbacks too. We did that with Jaden Daniels last year. Jaden Daniels was going to be the nemesis of everyone in the NFC East for the next 10 years based on what he did early on. Same with RG3. It didn't matter that RG3 was in a gimmick offense. So to Mike's point, it's the whole thing about just anointing people too early, making them out to be what they aren't. Their play is going to dictate who they are going forward. We don't have to sit there and say Drake May is the best ever. It doesn't really matter where he is in the pantheon of quarterbacks. The guy plays pretty well right now. He's played a pretty soft schedule. Jaden Daniels played a pretty soft schedule last year. Bo Nix has played a pretty soft schedule last year and this year. I don't understand why we have to jump to those conclusions. But to me, too, the whole thing about race with quarterbacks bothers the shit out of me. Because I think, personally, that's part of the reason Justin Fields has been given so much of a tether. Is because you can't criticize him because he's a running quarterback or he's a black quarterback or anything like that. And this guy has stayed in the league this long because of that, where there have been guys like, just Josh Rosen. No one gives a fuck what that guy did. He was a white guy. Didn't pan out. So I don't know if it's a race thing or what it is, but there's a lot of hesitation when there's quarterback evaluations that a lot of people throw the race card around. I don't get it. A quarterback's a really easy position over time to understand if they're good or bad. You'll see it.
Let it pan out. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Just see what happens before. Again, it's media driven, and then too many fans make the mistake or just make the assumption that the media knows exactly what they're talking about, and it's just they're experts at nothing. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So
Novak, pet peeves.
Yeah, one quick one. College football, stop it with Texas. I stop trying to make them be in the top 12. How many times are you going to lose bad games and then Herb Street has to spend about a half an hour saying how they could still be in the top 12? Stop it. 3 losses, you shouldn't be in. I don't care. Goodbye. So I had to get that one out quickly.
Move it along, Texas.
I got to ask this question about college football since you're talking about it. Notre Dame versus Miami. Why is Miami so far down versus Notre Dame? Didn't Miami beat Notre Dame?
That's true. They did, didn't they? They did. Well, I said that about Notre Dame last year night because I hate Notre Dame and I jinxed myself, and they went on to the national championship. So I'm not going to do that again. But stop it with Texas. They're not any good. Who do they beat Oklahoma? I give them that. Other than that, maybe they beat Vanderbilt. Okay, but Vanderbilt, come on. Nope, sorry. They are not a top 12 team. You have 3 losses. You should not even be in the discussion. Goodbye.
I do not see it with Arch Manning either.
No.
Sorry to say it. I don't see it with Arch Manning.
Maybe next year, but not this year, no. So my other pet peeve is, we have talked about this a lot, but I watched more football than usual this weekend because I wasn't watching the Jets on Sunday because they played Thursday. And so, but we have said this a lot, and it's true, and I counted this time. I don't remember, I wish I had paper and pen and wrote it down. I counted 7 times between the Jets game and the Giants game where the announcers called out like horrible records that the Jets and Giants were first team since 1970 to let up 20 points for the first 3 quarters of a game in November. What it was, stupid ones that some statistician was probably like in ChatGPT trying to find anything about the Jets and Giants. And then I watched the Browns, and I watched the game last night, and I watched these other horrible games. Not one record did I hear thrown out. It can't be true that the only teams in the NFL that have these horrible records are New York teams, and everyone else is void of these records. And I know we've talked about it, but it was so, I listened more this week, I guess, and it was 7-0. I didn't hear one in another game.
Yep.
And it has to get lumped together. Jets, Giants must get lumped together.
Yes.
I don't get that either. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
These stats you hear these days, and it's because they have these really good databases, but it's funny to hear the stats because they're like, he's the first guy ever to throw 16 touchdowns, less than 11 interceptions, and throw for over .418, whatever. Right. And it's like, okay, it's like you've got sliders.
Yeah.
Okay, if I move the slider down one more number, who's in it? Oh, now you got only 3 guys in that group. Okay, what if I move it up to 4.7? All right, that eliminates 1. Okay, what if I move it up to 5.3? There you go. Now you've got just 1 guy. So now you can say he's the only guy who. It's just, they're such phony, made-up bullshit stats. I'm tired of hearing them. Did you hear the new one though? The Giants are like the first team, or only the second or third team, or something in the Super Bowl era to score 20 points in 5 straight games and lose all 5.
Yes, I did see that was one of them. Yeah,
that's another new one.
No, I didn't even hear that one. That's
after years of not scoring 20 points. We scored 20 points in 5 straight
games, and we lose.
Can't knock one of them down. Yeah.
I'm sure the Browns were in there, but they had one game where they scored 19, right? And then the others were like 47.
Moving the slider.
Yeah. And move the slider. Oh, Giants are there. Let's get them.
Cardone.
So I didn't really have one significant one this week, so I went with a bunch of mini ones, if you will, some quick hitters here. So I'm just gonna I have like a little bit of a medley here of just random ones. I'm gonna start with the Giants trotting it. The white uniforms. I know people love the throwback. The fucking white uniforms at home. I don't know what it does. It bothers me. I can't stand wearing white at home. We don't wear white at home. The Giants, you knock it off. If you want to go with the throwbacks. I'm all for it. Wear the blue at home. Knock that off. I couldn't. So when I saw the white come in, I knew we had no chance to win with those uniforms at home. That was right off the bat.
What's the last time we won with a special uniform?
That's the other thing.
Uniform.
I think we brought that up. It's amazing. I think Mike brought it up last
uniform,
week.
I don't think we ever won on the red uniform.
No.
I'm just trying to think any time.
We actually, I think, it's funny that for some reason I remember hearing the stat, Scott, of the red uniform, the red jersey. We actually, believe it or not, played 8 times in those jerseys. I think the Giants are 1-7. They did manage to win once with the red jerseys, but the Giants were so that's the Giants' way. Not getting rid of Banks and Hyatt and Gillen. They're like, oh, we're gonna change the fortunes of our franchise. We're gonna get rid of this fucking colored jersey that we've been wearing. That'll give us a chance to win. That'll give us a winning record. Not hiring the right coach, not taking the right players in the draft. That's just that's really not part of our strategy here. Fuck. So the we already mentioned a couple of these, but I'm just going to, again, trot down the nonstop 2-point conversions against the New York Giants. I brought it up, I think, last week. I tried to Google the percentage of it happened again. And again, it didn't matter. It didn't win the game for the Packers, but the fact that they went for 2 at the end of the game, and it's absolutely automatic. It's maniacal and maddening, the 2-point conversions against the Giants. This is funny. So at Molly's there, the Giants score to go up 14-13. Mike goes to the bathroom, and we're up 14-13. He comes back after Koo. So after the penalty, the phantom chop block, to which Koo, I made the joke Mike comes back. He goes, "What the hell just happened?" I said, "Glad you asked. I have an answer for you." I said, while you were in the bathroom taking a piss, I said, someone had a chop block on a fucking extra point. So what that means is Koo goes back 15 yards, and instead of him, so now with our kickers, right? I go, Koo kicks one. I go, Koo put one into section 105. And he missed the net. He missed everything. He put one in the stands. So, I don't know if you guys saw that kick, Novak. I don't know if you saw that extra point.
I did. He missed way wide left.
I would say it was one of those. That was you're hungover on the first tee. You take out the driver. There's 4 foursomes waiting on, and you just duck snort one into the woods, 15 yards off the tee. That's what Koo did on the extra point. Now that it's a 48-yarder, Koo has to put one in the stance. So, and then lastly, I said this, listen, we love going out and watching the games for the flight. But the risk. And I've brought this one up many times, but then I have a little bit of a caveat to previous pet peeves when you have fans coming up to you at the sports bar wanting to talk about your team because I'm wearing my Giant jersey. I got my Giant hat on. So that just invites any chop to come up to you and ask me about what I think about Joe Shane and everything. You name it. So I said to Mike, as soon as the game starts, in my peripheral vision, I just see the color green to my left. And I'm like, so finally, after about the 3rd play, I look over. Sure enough, it's a Green Bay Packer jersey. And this chop, the first thing out of his mouth that I knew I was going to disqualify this guy within 10 seconds anyway. His first words out of his mouth is like, well, I'm not sure if I'm even going to be a Packer fan the rest of this year with the way they've been playing the last 2 weeks. I just look at him and said, well, excellent. Good for you, sir. And I didn't even sniff at this guy. So Mike is to my right. This chop is to my left. I wouldn't give him the time of day. He's trying to chisel his way and gnaw his way into our conversation, as what happens every time we go out and watch a game together. And I wouldn't give this guy the time of day. And I said to Mike, I said, why is it? So the pet peeve really is, why can't we go to Mully's or wherever and just once have whoever we're playing, there's not an opposing fan of that team at the bar who comes up to us. Why can't – I think maybe it happened with the Saints earlier this year. We were at Mully's watching the Saint game there, and I don't recall a Saint fan, but and I know Green Bay, they got a big fan base. They're Packer fans all over the country. But just by chance, can there not be a Packer fan to sit right next to me, let alone be on the other side of the bar? The guy has to saddle up right next. And then, of course, try to strike up a conversation 3rd play into the game. I haven't even gotten to my pissed off level yet, and I got this guy telling me he's not gonna be a fan of his team anymore because of the way they're playing. I'm fucking sitting here 2-8, about to go 2-9, and I got to worry about this guy's mental state of mind while he watches his Green Bay Packers. Get the fuck out of here. My life won't change. I'm a loser.
There is not one iota of untruth in that statement. Cardone would not give him the time of day, no matter how hard he tried.
The guy was trying.
And what he said, yep, good for you, buddy. That's exactly what he said and exactly how he said it.
I wouldn't turn my head.
And the guy finally drifted away, but he found another Packer fan somehow.
He did.
And Cost, you'll love this. He had the Packer jersey on that just had the logo on the front, and it like said NFC coming down the arm. So these guys are like, oh yeah, they're halfway through the game. Oh, they're cheering, but like, so the Packers go in and score. I don't remember which one it was, and Cardone and I are like, shit, fuck, and they don't say or do anything. There's nothing happening down there from those two. And then it's like they show the replay of the touchdowns, getting ready to go to commercial. They're like, "Oh, we scored!" It's so, like, get out of here.
I know. Oh man, it's infuriating.
Well, the last time you were there, you had the bar hag, as you called her.
Oh my God, remember? Yeah, bar hag. Didn't see her this time. That was. Yeah, I have a Giant jersey on. She's like, "You're rooting for the Giants." What? How'd you guess that?
What are you Kreskin? Nice job.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of questions this week. Peacock Corner, and this is a great one, and I really don't know the best answer to this. Start, bench, cut. Dart, May, Daniels.
Ooh.
So I'll take this since I've had the ability to absorb it for a while. I'm probably starting May, benching Dart, and cutting Daniels.
Agreed.
To 100%.
Yeah. That's as soon as you said that, Scott. My immediate reaction was the same. I wrote it down in the same order.
Yep. I 100% agree with that.
Actually, I love Jaden Daniels. I don't think his style of play is going to be enough to keep him alive for a while. And the other thing is too, I mean, he's in his sophomore year. Even before he got hurt, the Redskins were struggling. So yeah. I'm not positive.
The only thing Daniels is having that sophomore slump, got injured. Stroud the year before.
Yep.
Your guy is the guy that would be the next year's sophomore.
The next guy, sophomore slump.
So just be prepared for that. Not that he's going to, but they're going to be looking out for that.
Oh, I'm prepared. I mean, Scadabo's injured. Neighbors is injured. Why not just have Dart? This is sophomore season.
Because Cam Ward just sucks to begin with, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're going to get a new coach next year. Things are going to be lined up. It's going to be great. We're going to lose Dart for the year. Of course.
Yeah. This is for Novak. So Peacock asks, should Aaron Glenn bring in a proven offensive coordinator next year? Maybe McDaniel if he gets fired from the Dolphins.
Josh McDaniel. Oh, Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniels. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think we have to see how the rest of this year goes because this guy was hamstrung with Justin Fields. So, now we're actually going to see what he can do with a quarterback that I'm not saying Tyrod Taylor is going to light the world on fire, but don't we need to see what this guy can do with someone that can actually throw the ball down the field? So I got to give him a chance to see what he can do. My gut tells me no for consistency purposes, but let's see how the rest of the year goes.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree with that. I agree. I think Justin Fields prolongs the evaluation of a lot of things.
He's the worst quarterback in the history of the league. We all know it. We all said it. So if that's your quarterback, how can you be a good offensive coordinator?
I mean,
can't.
I can't.
Not possible.
For the life of me, I can't figure out why the guy was starting this long. I can't figure out why he's been in the league this long. But I for the life of me, I can't. I watched Jet games for Novak's sake, and it's why I don't get it.
Well, we talk about Shane too, about his talent evaluation. I have to wonder about what the Jets saw to make that trade and sign Justin Fields.
100%.
What were they thinking? What did they
Absolutely.
see with
Scares
Justin
me to
Fields to
death.
say this guy's going to be our franchise guy?
These
Even
are the
if-
same
let's
guys that are
just-
going to be drafting a quarterback this year. Scares me
Yeah.
to death.
Let's just say they saw something. Like, let's just say there was an offensive coach on the Jets who said, look, watch this. And they're looking at the film. Watch this. Watch this. They're not using him right. Give me this guy, and I can turn this franchise around. Let's just say that happened. Week 3, they should have known. Nope, same guy. Right?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
never
Nope.
mind.
No.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I misevaluated. That's the
Mistake.
exact same guy. Yeah. I know.
So Peacock also asks, Mara gets 4 names for a head coach: McCarthy, Shula, Gruden, Kiffin. Who are you going with?
Chris Shula?
Shula is
Chris Shula, right?
yeah.
That is it? Yeah.
He's a defensive coordinator with someone, I think. Look, I hate his baggage, but I love his persona. I love his record. I'm going with Gruden.
I was gonna say it sounds like you're going with Gruden. I might go with Kiffin. I think.
No, Kiffin's
Yeah.
a good choice too. He's
Yeah.
my second choice. But
Of that list, Kiffin would be my choice there. I just think he's got the right football mind. Like for the reasons you mentioned, Gruden, McCarthy was on there, right?
McCarthy was on
No,
there.
definitely
yeah.
not. No.
McCarthy would be a no-go for me on every level.
McCarthy, absolutely not. Kiffin would be my guy. I think.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't get behind the Gruden thing. He hasn't
I can't
coached
either.
in like 20 years.
Yeah.
I see him on Barstool Sports. He's drunk with chicks around him, playing games.
So
Yeah.
I cannot be a coach in the NFL.
Yeah, no, none of us could. No.
I would go for Kiffin. Gruden, I agree with you. I don't say. And McCarthy, like I think I texted you. He looks like he's got a fart at the ready at all times. Like I don't need that guy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, this is going to be
Don't
as
like 'em.
unpopular as me defending the back-to-back quarterback sneaks. I don't hate McCarthy.
Oh.
What I think what eliminates McCarthy for me is when he told Jerry Jones when he was like taking that job that he watched like every minute of tape of Dallas, and then it turned out he just lied about that.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know anything about that.
That to
story.
me is like, come on, dude. like you're a coach. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want McCarthy here long term, we need a professional football coach in here. We really do, and I don't think it's Gruden, and I like Kiffin. I like everything about Kiffin, but I don't know that he knows how to be a professional football coach. I know Mike McCarthy can go to Dallas, and they have, yes, a ton of talent, but he's winning 10, 11, 12 games every year that he's there. Maybe he can't win 10, 11, 12 games here because we don't have the kind of talent that I think Dallas had back then. And the fact that he couldn't get him even to a Super Bowl tells me everything I need to know about the guy. He's a regular season coach, but just for a couple of years to have some 10-win regular seasons and losing the playoffs, and then fire McCarthy and bring in the guy who we think can get us over the rest of the hump. I mean, I don't want it to happen. I wouldn't hate it. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't jump off a bridge.
You don't want a first-time offensive coordinator is the only thing I will say.
Right.
With not a rookie, second-year quarterback who's got a shit ton of talent. That's the one. It's almost more important in my mind than the head coach, is to get an offensive coordinator that maybe was a previous head coach that has some experience.
So my friend Mike asks, what's most lacking with the Giants? Defense, talent, coaching, or heart? I'd love to say heart because of the way Banks has played. I think it's coaching. I think we've seen coaching from the Bowen level not being up to snuff, and I think coaching from Dable not been up to snuff. That's my personal opinion.
It's coaching for me because if you have the right level of coaching, whatever you want to call it, then like heart and that kind of stuff, it shows itself when you have the right, when you're playing for the right coaches. So I think it starts with that. Talent, you if you don't have to have the best talent to be successful. If you have good coaching, good game planning, and a good system, you can make up for not having the best talent and still win games in this league. It's coaching.
Yeah, I think defense and heart go hand in hand, and we're certainly missing both of those things. On defense, I think when on offense with Dart and Scatterboo here, we had heart in abundance. I mean, that's all we were was heart. But it all comes down to coaching. Dable's been gone a week and a half, and we're seeing the result was the same, but we're seeing differences.
Did he offer an E all of the above category, or is that not?
Yeah,
that was it.
We'll edit.
He also asks, both for the Giants and Jets, do we want our owners to sell the team? And this is always a tough question for me when teams are sucking. To me, this is less about an owner like Tepper with Carolina who meddles, at least from the Giants standpoint. Giants selling the team, what's it going to give you? If it gives you someone like Daniel Snyder, I'm not for that. I'm good with where we are. I don't know what Novak thinks about their ownership. It's
100%. I want him to sell. I would absolutely love that. Because Woody Johnson is a meddling idiot, and I'd rather him not be the owner. And I'm a fan of another team where you see the difference in ownership with the Mets, but when they had the Wilpons and now they've got Cohen, what a difference that has made for that organization. And I know there's no salary cap there, so it's a little different. But in the NFL, when you have a meddling idiot like Woody Johnson, there's nothing that you just rot from the inside, and that's why he gets an F every year in that little stupid player grading book about ownership. Goodbye. I'd love to have
the one he's trying to dissolve, the one he's trying to get rid of.
Yeah, that one. Yes, because he's a fool.
I don't want the Giants to sell the team. I don't think ownership matters that much. I think it can only get worse. The first thing that came to my mind when Scott asked the question, he said it almost immediately, is some billionaire idiot is going to buy the Giants and Dan Snyder us, and he's going to be like 36-year-old internet billionaire and keep the team until he's 102 years old, and we're never going to get out from under that shit.
1 billion.
I'm a loyal guy. We've won under the Mara and Tisch family. We can keep winning. We can find another way to win under the Mara and Tisch families.
It's Mara's team until they're not here anymore. So
completely agree.
It's not being sold.
Mike also asks, is there another team that's doing well that we're happy for? And for me, I'll tell you, I like the fact the Colts are doing well with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah,
I know maybe unpopular in this group. I have a lot of friends who are Panther fans. I kind of like that the Panthers are doing all right.
I fucking hate the Panthers.
I know, Scott can't. He couldn't even take. He had to look away. He couldn't even look at me.
No, for me, there's not. I am looking at the list of decent teams, and there's not a team that I like. I just want someone to. I just don't want the Chiefs to win and the Eagles. Other than that, I'll root for whoever is playing against those two, because as long as one of those two doesn't win, fine. And the Patriots, I would add that into the mix.
Can I answer for Cardone? Can I answer in place of Cardone? All right, I'm going to be Cardone here for a minute. Fuck no! I'm 2-9. They can fuck themselves.
We've had that question on our pod here. Like, who's your second favorite team? None. I hate 31 teams. That's it. I don't have one. I can't even go with the team. Like, I was going to say, all right, Daniel Jones as an individual player, as kind of loser that Loserville that sounds like, but because what do I care about the Indianapolis Colts? I don't. But
I was gonna say too, the NFC or the AFC South is one of those divisions too. Where I'll take a team from there. I don't get.
They have a game again this weekend.
No, that's fair. If I had to make a pick, it was the Colts because of Jones. But if Jones isn't there, let's say it's not Jones, and it's and it's Anthony Richardson, let's say, and they're still 8-2 somehow, I wouldn't care.
I don't think they have a game this week. Tennessee plays Seattle. So, I don't think they do.
They don't.
Damn it.
Nope.
My friend Mike also asks, and this is a good one because I was thinking about this the other day. Do you recycle, and do you think it's mostly a waste of time? And it's funny in my town where we are, they don't take glass anymore. I always thought that was the whole reason to recycle was glass. So if you don't take glass, what the fuck are we recycling? Are we just? Oh, is it only paper and plastic? And if so, what's my motivation to throw it in that little blue thing to throw it out on the curb?
Well, owning a home now back again in Charlotte, I have both the ours is green. I don't know. We have the green recyclable can, and then we have the gray, regular garbage. My own personal rule is whatever can is less full. That's where I throw like my bag of shit. You know what I mean? Like so. I don't care which one it is, which I just open up both of them. Like if it's coming up on garbage day, well, which fucking can I fit my garbage in? That's the one that gets the bag. I don't care if it's recyclables or not. So cardboard, this, that, whatever, wherever I can fit my garbage, that's the can that it goes in. That's my rule.
Other than my job, the other job I have is breaking down boxes because I spend at least 5 hours a day breaking down boxes, it feels like, of the shit that we get through Amazon. So yeah, I need to recycle.
That's a Dr. Rick commercial, by the way. You don't.
I love the Dr. Rick commercial where you guys like taking sandwich orders while the guy's in the bathroom. Respect boundaries. Respect boundaries here. But we have a Reuben here. No, respect boundaries. And then we have one last question from my friend Jared. He asks, because our teams are so bad, we don't have any fun. What is the one song that you can always dance to? And I'll answer this first. I really didn't have much advance notice of this. It came in today, but I was thinking about this past weekend, and you guys are gonna have to keep me honest here because I'm not sure about the band here. But I always love this song, and if I'm in the car and I hear it, I'm always dancing. It's you always get what you give. From I think it's the New Radicals. It's a 90s song.
Yeah. Yeah,
you always get what you give. Don't let go. So to me, that I will dance to that song if I'm in the car. People are gonna be going by me like, "What the fuck is that guy doing?" I'm gonna be like doing one of these. So
I would say "Got to Give It Up" by Marvin Gaye is
Got to Give It Up. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
dance, a 56-year-old white guy, and I'm straight,
I know
so
Mike
I don't
doesn't
have
dance
one.
Too,
yeah,
it's like he listens to the Dead. He's not going to dance too much.
I got a good answer for this one. I do.
I'm trying to fix my headphones so they work, so I don't sound so annoying. But no.
I knew from the first time I heard this song that I would be listening to it for the rest of my life. It's kind of out of genre for me. I don't even know how I first heard it, but if "Getting Jiggy with It" by Will Smith comes on, I will dance, man. From the first time I heard it, I'm like, yep, that's the best song I ever heard in my life. I'm going to listen to that forever. So yeah, it's way out of genre for me, but if it comes on, I will go with it.
You know what's one I used to dance to when they would play this during my son's lacrosse games, and I would be on the sidelines to keep him score. But they would always play. It wasn't Chris Cross's one, but it was "Jump Around." Like yeah. I would just be I'd be on the sidelines just jumping around.
Well, that doesn't take any dance ability. That's just jumping up and down. So that makes sense.
Jump around, jump up and get down.
I got to go with like Seinfeld's answer. Be like, so you don't dance? No, because it's so stupid.
You guys got anything else today? I like that question to end with.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I got nothing else.
No.
The bartender at Mulligan's was extremely talented.
Yeah.
Cardone confirmed that that he's seen there before.
Yeah. Highly recommended.
I really think Wild Card Weekend will be a great weekend at Mulligan's, but we probably should pick another week too before that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
one
so
in early December.
So if you guys remember that one wild card weekend we went there with our boy, speaking of dancing and dance floors, remember our boy Marino out
great.
there?
Yeah.
So
And
Mike and I, we had a great time yesterday. We brought up Marino, and we had that guy Will cracking up because we were just picturing Marino the whole time, like, and the Chiefs are running it up on the Dolphins. They go up by 30, and there's Marino out there. Just remember he's like this guy couldn't care less.
Well, that's how they turned into a dance club in all of about a minute.
Yeah, it went from Mulligan's to a dance club in a matter of like in one commercial
During
break.
A timeout. Yeah.
Yeah, during a commercial break,
That
where the
might
four of
be
us
the
look over
best-
like, what the hell just happened back
The
here?
best transformation ever.
Yeah.
It's an enigma.
All right. So if you guys don't have anything else, we'll be back next week. We'll recap probably 2 losses. It's looking like that.
4-19. Here we come.
Yeah. Keep it going.
We've I don't know if you guys have known this, but in the last 4 years, we have lost on the same weekend about 66% of the time. So it's great.
And if the Titans win and the Giants lose, guess who's the number 1 pick?
Oh,
That would be the
really?
Giants. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Lovely.
I know if the Titans lose, they're not going to take quarterback, nor will the Giants. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of draft capital we'll get.
We might be trading with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
It'd
boys.
be interesting.
We'll see everyone next
week. If we
week.
get that number 1 pick, we can make a haul for an already pretty talented team.
There you go.
Send in questions next week. We're looking forward to it.
See ya.
See ya.